Hey, everybody, welcome back to No Excuses. I'm your host, Chris George, chairman and co founder of Subta. This is our first episode of 2022. Super excited for this. We've got a ton of great episodes happening this year. And for this episode, super excited. We have Ansley, who's back from the Travelista Box, who was on our episode in May of 2021. Ainsley, thank you so much for being back on.
Hi, Chris. Thanks so much for having me again. I'm excited to be here.
Of course. So how have you been?
I've been good. Yeah, it's been an interesting 2021. I'm sure it has for everybody, but yeah, it's been fun for sure.
And so you were on the show in May of last year. You're the first person to come on twice, so I think it's great because we can
Awesome.
sort of get an update from you.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about how you've grown, how things have been. If you were able to implement anything that we sort of talked about then, if any of that worked, give us a quick update.
Yeah, so quite a few things have happened. I know last time we talked about Facebook ads, and you were telling me that my ads were doing really good based on what I told you. So I took your advice, and the ads definitely did, really well in the summer months. We really killed it in like April, May, June, and July. After the iOS update came up, a little bit of backfire on that, as I'm sure everybody had.
Sure.
But for the most part, it was definitely a nice growth. And we were voted #1 travel box by Euroboxes, which I was really, really excited about.
Amazing. Congratulations.
So, yeah, thanks.
And so one thing, you just reminded me to touch on something. So one thing to keep in mind with the iOS update is while it might not be tracking accurately conversions, you are still getting conversions. It's just not telling you, right? So
that's true. Yeah.
One thing you need to think about with your ad sets, and for everybody listening, this is really important, is as opposed to worrying about the pixel showing you conversions, look at how many clicks to the website you're getting from the ad sets. And look at what your website conversion rate is. Let's just, for the sake of numbers, let's say it's 2%. Well, if you're getting 1,000 clicks to the website, you should be getting 20 conversions. And you would probably see that you're getting these conversions that you're not sure where they're coming from, because you might get 50 new subscribers, but Facebook's saying they only got you 10. Well, it's because it's not tracking everything, right? So to sort of optimize your ads, look at ones that are driving the most clicks to the website. Right? If you're starting to see conversion rate go down, that means you're not driving the best traffic. Conversion rate going up, you might have optimized the site better, or you're sending to the site more qualified traffic. So don't let that deter you from slowing down Facebook ad spend, right? It's still working. Yeah. It's just you're not able to see it as well. You have to get super creative in trying to calculate conversions. And then for those that might be watching for the first time, give us a quick 30 seconds on Travelista Box and what it is.
Yeah, for sure. So we travel the world every season. We either do a destination or a theme quarterly. So we're a quarterly travel subscription box. And we put 6 to 8 premium items that'll be either travel themed or destination theme related.
And so that's to help the consumer sort of get that travel experience right at their doorstep.
Yeah, kind of like wanderlust from your home.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So tell me, what's the first thing you'd like to chat about here today?
So the first thing I would like to chat about is cash flow. So when I first started talking to you in May last year, it wasn't really an issue because I hadn't grown too much. I'd grown a little bit, but it was manageable. So when I started, doing all these Facebook ads and growing a little bit, yes, there's more cash flow coming in, but there's also more going out. So I guess one of my questions is, being a quarterly model, do you have a percentage or formula or kind of a guide on how you can order products way in advance and not get stuck paying this huge deposit on products 8 months from now? Or where kind of the cash flow of once you got into your groove, what did that look like, I guess?
Yeah. Well, I think it's helpful that you're quarterly, right? Because if you're monthly, your cash flow would be even crazier, because if you're ordering 12 months of products.
Yeah.
And look, at supply chains has made things harder because it takes longer to get products, so you do have to order it further ahead. There's different things, right? There's some programs that allow you to have longer time periods to pay back, right? There's Brex, right? It's a credit card that I think gives you maybe 120 days or 90 days to pay. The other thing too is to look at working with some suppliers, some sourcing companies that might help with that um, cash flow. So like, Vertical Collective or Procurement, like those are companies that might be able to like work with you in regards to
Mhm.
making you make payment at a different rate, right? Giving you some terms that could be
Yeah.
helpful to your business. I don't know what your order, I don't know what your order quantities are at now, but I can assume that sometimes it does make it harder depending on how much you're ordering. These companies, you're working directly with them, they want a deposit, right? But some of these
Yeah.
sourcing companies will handle the deposit for you, and then they'll ship you the goods once you've made the final payment to them, right?
Right.
And I think that now that you've been established longer, you could probably, more companies that um, have faith that you'd be able to, still be in business and make that payment. That's always the risk that they potentially have to take. I
Right.
think as you start to build a relationship with a really good sourcing company, that's going to help cash flow, right? Um, Another thing too is look for, like, I think it's Brex, and there's another one. I think that gives you a little bit more time to like make the payment because they know you're buying inventory.
Oh, okay.
Um,
So what is
that's
what is it
It's
then,
like a
Brack?
credit
Like,
card, but it gives you like 120 days, I think, to pay instead of like
oh,
30. Yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah. Well, you can reach
Gotcha.
out to me after I can do an intro. There's another one. I'm having trouble remembering the name of it, but I'm happy to introduce you to like some of the sourcing companies as well to help with that. Um, and also too, as you start to snowball, right? So as you start to get more subscribers and you're driving more revenue, that makes that easier too. So, as you're getting 1,000 people that are renewing every single month, that revenue, that profitability goes towards cash flow,
Hmm.
which you then can use to make the future purchases. The other
Yeah,
thing too is like, don't be afraid to sell out potentially. So don't over order. If you're stuck with a lot of inventory, that affects cash flow.
that definitely is what happened to me.
Yeah. So,
And
uh,
the only reason it happened to me was because everything was going good in the summertime, and I kind of based my September
mhm,
ordering on that and December ordering on that. And then when it fell off a little bit, it was kind of like, oh, I don't necessarily have the number that I thought I was
mhm,
going to be at, which
yep,
I think having a quarterly box, that's one difference. Whereas if it's monthly, you pretty much know what you're ordering every month because you just kind of go up just a little bit, right?
yep,
Whereas with this quarterly, I'm finding I have to predict how much I'm going to grow within 3 months because
yep,
I, like you said, now I can start to think about selling out. I guess I just had a fear of selling out because I didn't know.
yeah.
Yeah.
So on the flip side, you have 3 months to sell the products versus
Yeah.
30 days, right? So the quarterly is like better all around. But um, here's things to consider. It's okay, absolutely okay to sell out. You don't want to sell out within 30 days of a 3 month period, but you can sell out
Right.
15, 20 days ahead of time. It also brings like FOMO, or like, this the consumer thinking, wow, this sells out every month. That might get you more subscribers.
Yeah.
They might want to sign up. So you just have pre-signups for the next box. On the other side of it too, um,
So would you
if you
just in
let
that case pre-sign up for the next box then? So you would say
yeah,
to
of
them, okay,
course,
you're
have
signing
them
up
pre
today, but you're not getting a box until like a month and a half from now, let's say,
right,
or right. Okay.
right. The only time different period is going to be like from the time you sell out. So if you sell out 30 days ahead, they're only waiting 30 days, or
Yeah.
40 days to get the box.
Hmm.
The other side of it too is, as you let's say you're 30 days in and you've noticed that you've got 100 units left and you don't think you're going to sell out. Well, bump up your ad spend on Facebook, sell out, let
Yeah.
your customer acquisition costs go up, move those products, get that cash flow back. You obviously don't want CAC to go through the roof, but do some more marketing things. Other thing too is, if you've got excess inventory, reach out to let's say all the subscribers that signed up in March, or
Hmm.
no, we'll say December, or we're in
Yeah.
January. They've never got the September, they never got the June, they never got the March box. We'll offer it to them at a discount. Like, say, hey, as an active member, you missed out on the Paris box. I don't know, right?
Yeah.
And like, here's a chance to get it. And that's a really good way to move some of that old inventory.
Yeah. So instead of saying like, oh, it would normally be 99, it's $85 now or
Mhm.
whatever.
Or
Yeah.
put together like a mystery. Some mystery. I'm a
We
huge
have a
mystery
mystery
box.
box now, and that's actually selling well because it's kind of I'm just putting whatever inventory I
Yeah.
have really in the
Well,
box.
really,
So
or you could just send them one of the themed ones. That's the
yeah,
mystery,
yeah,
right? And
yeah.
send them that and have that at checkout as an upsell.
Hmm.
So I've given this recommendation to so many brands, but so
Hmm.
at checkout, you could have this, like, there's this. you can do this in Shopify for sure. There's a
Yeah.
box with a red arrow like pointing at it, and it says
Yeah.
like add a mystery box for $80 to this order.
Yeah.
And like we saw like a 45% take rate when we did with some
Right.
of the companies. So
Yep.
that's what I would do, and that'll help move inventory.
Okay, sounds good.
Good. What
Awesome.
else?
My next question, unless you have anything to touch on the cash flow. No.
That's
Okay.
good.
My next question is about messaging. I could potentially see, any or every brand having this issue, but properly conveying what's in the box, because I don't release the whole box for everybody to see and they can't choose the items in their box. It's not like a Fat Fit Fun scenario. So I guess what would you suggest on some, clear messaging for me where they would know that it's going to be an array of travel items? It's not just going to be souvenirs, but it's not just travel specific items. It's kind of both.
How do you know that it's a problem?
A few people, when we've asked feedback on why they've canceled, that's kind of been some of their feedback. Not a lot of people, but because I almost ask almost every person why they cancel, just so I can have an idea.
Yep.
And it was more or less they thought, oh, I thought it would just be travel items, or on the flip side, oh, I was looking for more destination specific items. So I think that they were a little bit confused as to what they were getting, was the gist of it.
So, you know what? Hold on. Go to your website.
And I don't know if there's a way to please everybody, obviously, in terms of
Yeah. Do you show previous boxes on your website?
Yeah, we have. Well, right now we have the France box for sale. We're working on the new website where we're going to have just a pass box page, so they can see quick pictures of it. But right now on the homepage, we have videos of all the pass boxes being unboxed. So if they want to go watch the videos, they could definitely see what's in the box.
You see here what's in the box: travel destination guides, accessories and clothing, food and beverage, drinkware, jewelry. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I feel like you're conveying it here.
Yeah.
So
I guess maybe in terms of like advertising, or if people don't read things, which we know, they don't.
Yeah, I mean, look, on the ad side, you're getting them to the website. So like you're getting them to the website.
The website to do the work, essentially.
Yes. So what I maybe, if you wanted, was move up the what's in the box farther on the website, because probably on mobile it's pretty far down.
Okay.
Not far down, but you know what? Do you have what's it called?
Hotjar?
Hotjar, yeah. Do you have it on your site?
I do. I got it probably about a month ago. I haven't watched every single video because there's a lot.
You're not going to watch them all. Yeah. It's a little addicting, though, doesn't it?
You get stuck watching loop after loop.
Yeah. So where are they moving around? That'll tell you. Are they clicking down? Are they like going to certain areas? Are they not getting to the what's in the box area? So they're not. You can move it up. That's what I would look at.
I find most of them do look at most of the content. Yeah.
So is the response for canceling like, oh, this isn't what I expected?
Yeah, I guess one way I could alleviate it is adding more customization to the box, but then that gets tricky with fulfillment, right?
Well, look you do it in a slow way, right? So customization is going to be critical for 2022, but like have them pick one of the items, and it might be a color difference. Like it might be a scarf and pick the red one or the blue one.
Mm-hmm.
It might be, don't do it fully customized. Have them pick one or two items and have it choose between one or two items.
Well, we do a survey, so we kind of base it on what their preferences are. We ask them 6 questions, and then based on that, we say, oh, they like darker stuff, so we're going to put the darker shirt in. And that helps us decipher that, but they're not actually choosing it, if that makes sense. They're not saying, oh, between this scarf and this scarf, I choose this one.
Yep.
My question is, if I were to do that, how do you get everyone to actively choose? Like,
well, you just say if you don't choose, you're going to get one that we think is best for you. Like you would send an email out, right? Like, hey, choose. Here's your choice for this month.
Yeah.
If you don't choose by this date, we're going to send you the one we think's best for you.
Okay.
Because they're not all going to do it.
Well, no, that's what I mean. I mean, like, not even every single person reads the email. So
right, for sure.
you know,
So I think
just so
adding a
they
little bit of an element, but again, you got to really look at the data and see, is that a big problem? Like what? How long are they staying on for before they cancel now?
it's usually around 3 boxes. That's about the average between like people that sign up for an entire year and people that cancel after one or two. It's roughly sitting around 3 boxes.
And are you tracking like every somewhere all the reasons why they cancel? Like when they go to cancel, do you ask them why?
Yeah.
And what's the number one reason why?
Um, I don't know if there's a number one. It's kind of even between um can no longer afford it or something else, and then in the something else they'll write why they canceled. So
So
it's kind of a personal reason.
okay, so like when I go to if I were to go to cancel right now, walk me through the steps. What do I do?
So it's through Subly. So they have an integrated cancellation question when you go to cancel. So you go to cancel. Um, I think first it asks if you want to pause or fully cancel outright. So some people just choose pause and they can pause one or two boxes. And then if they choose that they want to cancel, they choose one of the reasons. And then based on what they choose, we offer something. So
And what are the
if
reasons
it's
right now? One of them is
the
can't
reasons,
afford it.
can't
Yep,
afford it, not worth the money, lost interest, something else, or have too many products.
got
That's
it.
not an issue ever. No one chooses that one.
So and the something else. Okay, so you're saying it's split between I can't afford it and something else.
I would say so. A few people do choose lost interest. It's not a huge
Okay.
factor though.
Is there a trend into something else that you notice a lot of them are saying the same thing?
Um, I would say it's between a couple things. So it's between the one answer that I gave you of they were just maybe expecting something different, whatever that was. Um, we did have an issue with December and shipping. I know that was an issue for everyone. We
Yeah,
communicated as best as we could. It's unfortunate. It was kind of out of our hands. So that was another issue. They wanted their box, like,
for
you
Christmas.
know,
Yeah.
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 So it was just one of those things where that was just out of our hands. So that was an issue. Um, those are pretty much the reasons, just kind of not what they expected, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So it's kind of hard to gauge what to fix
yeah,
when
I mean, I would
we're
look
getting
at like
mixed.
really close. Like, so here's what you could do too: is um, call 10 customers that canceled, send them an email and say, "Hey, I'd love to like get your feedback. If you're willing to just chat with me for 10 minutes, I'll give you like a Starbucks gift card or something." And
Yeah.
then talk to them. Like call
Yeah.
10 of them and say, "Hey, like what didn't you like? What can we do better? We're trying to improve this." And like really hear what they say. Like I don't know that I'm not sold on that they not what they expected. Like maybe some of them, but like I don't know if that's a huge problem yet, right? Like if you told
Right.
me that out of 100 people canceling, 70% said it's not what they thought they were getting, then it's okay. We got a real problem here.
Right.
I don't know that we have a real problem for that. They're also probably just selecting a reason, right? Like they're putting in the other, like so
Yeah. Because they have to
um,
select a reason. Like they can't just not,
yeah,
they can't
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
exit, so they have to
So
choose something.
when they say not what I expected, what's the offer after that? They click
If they
other, and then what does
if
it
they
do?
click other, we offer like 15% off, I think is a coupon right now, or they can pause. I want to eventually enter maybe like a smaller box. So if they're going to choose that they can't afford it right now, not have it offered on the site, but maybe offer it to select few people. Like if you wanted to downgrade,
I would change. I would.
that could
I
get
would.
tricky too.
I would consider instead of putting the other reason and letting them type something out, literally put not what I expected,
Okay.
and don't even put the other reason. Right. So your reasons are can't afford it, too many items, not interested, not what I expected. If they click not what I expected, say hey, something like hey, we're so sorry, this is what you expected. Love for you to give us another shot. You know,
Mhm.
try the next box for 25% off.
Right. Okay.
Right. And then if they
I
say they
think
can,
too, before the last 2 months, we were offering quite a good offer. We were offering a gift value. The gift changed, so I don't want to say what it is, but the gift changed. Sorry, the gift was $35 in value, and we were offering that with your first box. However, where I kind of didn't really do it properly was I just offered it to everyone. I didn't offer it for just the annual subscribers. So I think a lot of the I couldn't afford it was people just wanting to get the best deal for that box. And then do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like
When was that? What month?
that was June, and I did it for a bit of September, and then I kind of put a stop to that
I mean, so
because
instead of discounting it, you offered a free item. They were definitely not ordering because they wanted the free item. That's for sure. People, that's
really,
you're at 99. You're in a $99 box. You're not like cheap, right? So it's like
yeah,
if you offered 50% off your first month, that'd be people trying to get a deal on a box. This is still hitting a consumer willing to spend 100 on the first purchase. They didn't
yeah,
incentivize them, like maybe one or two, but that was not the reason. There was another reason. They didn't either they didn't like it or it wasn't what they expected. Is my guess.
okay,
Would be the case in those ones. And you know what? You should have a question. You should ask, didn't find value.
yeah. So we do have that one. So
Okay.
we put, not worth the money investment, and that's not a common one that people choose.
Okay.
So it's not alarming to me because it's not getting chosen very often.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's hard. They're
It's
saying they
weird
can't
to
afford
me
it,
that
but
somebody
they're not saying
says,
they don't see the value. So I'm kind of stuck. I'm like, well, where are
yeah.
we? Where's the mix up here then, I guess?
The free item with purchase, like those people canceling afterwards because they can't afford it, doesn't really make any sense. It would only make sense if there was a huge discount because
Okay.
they still came out of pocket full price. So, I think you can add an element of customization, but don't go crazy with it. This is not a fulfillment nightmare. I think you call these customers and like see, and also too, it's like really look at the data in terms of percentages. Is it like one or two people that are canceling because of these reasons, or is it like a huge percentage just canceling? That's when you really have to see, because sometimes as
Yeah.
entrepreneurs we get caught up. One customer says one thing and everybody panics. It's like, wait a minute, there was like
Yeah.
500
Yeah.
customers and only one
Right.
said it,
Yeah.
right? So that's what I would do.
In your experience when you had your box, what was your best way to kind of kibosh like churn and how you handled what we're talking about right now, essentially?
Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing for us is when we went quarterly, that really lowered churn dramatically.
Okay.
But I would say that the biggest reason people canceled was, I mean, we had 8 months. We were 8 renewals. So it was 2 years was our average. So the consumers were getting a lot of value. We didn't have a churn problem when we went quarterly. When we were monthly, we had a churn problem.
Okay.
I mean, we listened to the customers. Like the biggest thing is we were monthly first, and they were canceling because they had too much stuff or they couldn't afford it. So we
Right.
listened to them by went quarterly. That's how we solved it. Really, you're
Okay.
already quarterly, and people are canceling because they can't afford it. So you've got an option is to come up with another tier, maybe. So like a $50 a quarter box and
Yeah.
$100 a quarter box. The
Yeah.
$50 quarter box has got less items. Make
Mhm.
sure it's still valuable and offer that as maybe a retention item or have it on the website. People like to have a couple options. So you could
Mhm.
have you can get creative with it, right? Like
Like the carry-on and the full suitcase kind of a thing.
yeah, or like
Yeah.
the road trip versus the first class. I don't know. Like you could
Yeah.
like get super, like you could get
Yeah.
super creative there. So, I would do that and see if that helps with some retention.
Do you think I should start with just subscribers first or just people that have canceled first? Sorry, not subscribers, just people that have canceled first and say, hey, we noticed that you mentioned.
I would offer that, but I'd also like build a separate landing page and drive like half my ads to it, and also
Okay.
drive half my ads to the normal landing page and see if it's performing better. Like, am I getting more signups in this landing page?
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
So see if it like test it out and see if it's really something that people are signing up for.
Yes. And then also
Um,
offer it to your past customers, see if they take it. And also offer it as a retention to somebody canceling because
yeah,
they can't afford it. That's what I
right.
would do. Yeah.
Okay. My only fear with that is they might see the spoiler item. So let's say I have four, like right now I have four spoiler items. They're, of course, the premium items of the box. So there's no way I could put all of those items in the lower price box. So what if someone's like, oh, I saw that.
No, I mean
You
you
just
would
say
just
like,
like
well, that's
clearly you
totally included
clarify
with that.
like yeah, the carry on is gonna have 1 to 2 premium items the full suitcase is going to have 2 to 4 or 3 to 4.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, just be clear and concise.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. It's
Good.
definitely something I was considering. I just haven't pulled the
Yeah.
trigger yet because I don't know.
For sure. No, I get it.
It seems like a little bit of extra work, but that's okay.
Hey, nothing's easy, right? You got to try. You
No,
got to
no,
test.
definitely a subscription box is not easy
Yeah,
for anyone that thinks that.
for sure. Well, Ainsley, this was great. I hope this was helpful. I'm glad that we
It
got
was.
that little nugget there at the end with the landing page. So
Yeah, that was helpful for sure.
I wish you the best of luck. I hope to see you in Orlando. If you got any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. If you wanted me to introduce you to any of those sourcing companies, I'll happy to do that for you.
Okay.
And hope you have a great week. And for those of you that are watching, glad to be back here in 2022. I hope everybody's an amazing year, and I will see you here next week. Thank you guys so much.